and fantastic Carly O'Connor. So, should we start some clapping going now for Debbie? And start some cheering! Come on, Debbie!
I'll just move this out of the way, I don't want to block your view. There you go. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. This is lovely. This is so nice. I'm glad I made the effort. I did my hair, my face, put a nice dress on. I've got matching underwear on. Don't look so worried, Craig. It's alright. I'm fully aware I have more chance for medical emergency than Cullen. I'm from up north, a nice little village called Rochdale. You're from Rochdale, love? At least you don't have to live there, be alright. And I had an idyllic childhood. Smoking, drinking, underage sex. Yeah, I was dragged up proper. And it would have been perfect, but my mum was barking mad. She was absolutely crackers. Totally obsessed with the weight. And she was a yo-yo dieter. Do you know what that means? I'll give you an example. 1980, she was North West Slimmer a year. 1981, she was Face of Greg's. And we used to laugh at her, but it stopped being funny when she got obsessed with me. She had me at Weight Watchers when I was 11. I don't even think that's legal. And if I lost weight, we stopped at Chippy on the way home. Oh, that's just reminded me I've not had nothing to eat. Lots of comedians don't eat before a gig. They say the hunger makes them sharper, focused, the laughter more euphoric. I mean, I don't do it for any of those reasons. I don't eat before a gig because I've got IBS and I'm scared I'll shit myself. And you'd think, wouldn't you, with all them skip meals, that I would have lost loads of weight, but I've not. I've not, and I've done all the diets. You know, my favourite one was the cabbage soup diet. Do you remember that? The cabbage soup diet. Rapid weight loss and an effective form of contraception. Yeah, you eat cabbage soup for a week and no fuckers coming near you. And I've been thinking about the fat jab. You know, I've just been thinking about it, but I can't get my head around it. I feel that Manjaro is to dieting what cucumbers are to nuns. You will get amazing results, but it's not real. But I'm really fed up with fat shaming. It's everywhere you go, fat shaming. I took the family down to one of them all-you-can-eat buffets, and they were doing the promotion. It said, children pay what you weigh. I tell you what, I had them running on spot before we went inside. But Ryanair keeps talking about it. We're on TV, they want to put a fat tax on. You know, it's because you take up more space on plane. But I'll tell you a good one. The local funeral director is doing pay what you weigh cremations. Because the average person, their cremated remains weighs £7. And they're proposing that they're going to charge 50 quid per pound. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that fat job. Because even though it's going to cost me a fortune now, when I pop my clots on, quick's in, won't I? Yeah. I know you're all looking, you're thinking, what's this old bird up to? Well, as we age, we start to get invisible. And I don't want to fade away. I want to go out screaming and shouting. So I set myself challenges. I've wrote a book. Thank you. I've been on the chase. I didn't win, and Bradley Walsh is with me. I have played live at Glastonbury. Thank you. I strummed my ukulele in the car park, and I'm having that. But my biggest challenge is I've been married 37 years. I know it. 37 years. I mean, there's an age difference between us, and when I met him, I thought, oh, at last I've got myself a sugar daddy. Turns out he's just old and diabetic. But when we married until death do us part. I just didn't think it'd take this long. But I knew we'd stay together. I knew we'd never separate, because neither of us wanted custody of kids. But he's a mechanic and he's a proper petrol head, obsessed with cars. And I told him, I said, I'm going to tell him all about your latest car. He said, let me write it down so you don't get it wrong. El Camino, 1976, limited edition, black 9. 302 small box Chevy, 500 horse. 4 miles to the gallon, roller, rockers, high lift cam, big valve heads. B&M, auto on the floor shift, 4 barrel carb. That's so sad. What kind of car do you drive? I wrote it down so I won't get it wrong. It's red. But he's changed over the years, you know. When I met him, he had a narrow waist and a broad mind. That's changed. But then I've changed. It used to be all high heels and push-up bras. The night I met him, my boobs were pushed that high, they were level with his nose. Do you know what his child line were? Can I nuzzle in your bosom? I said, go on then. But we've both changed. I mean, we used to rip each other's clothes off in a wild sexual frenzy. I wouldn't have time to get the socks off. I mean, now I've got time to knit a pair. It used to be all sex and drugs and rock and roll. Now, to be absolutely honest, it's more like cups of tea and sausage rolls. That's what it's like. We still make love, just slowly and only after a full risk assessment. Yeah, but he does love me. Yeah, I know he loves me. I mean, he almost told me once. But he had come here. He had come here to support me. He says that this is my midlife crisis. I'm too old for a midlife crisis. If this were midlife, I'd have to live to be 126. But we have little names for each other. He calls me Delightful Deborah. Isn't that lovely? Oh, that lovely. I call him my sex machine. No, I don't. He thinks I call him my sex machine. What I really call him is a fucking tool. But there's always something in there. I went to the doctor's with tonsillitis, and as she's looking down my throat, she said, I think you could do with a colonoscopy. I thought, how far down can she see? So I'm at the hospital, you know, doing the consent form and everything, and he says to me, have you done this before? I said, yeah, but not in a medical setting. Then he's telling me all the ways I can die and all the things that can go wrong. Can I just read the room, please? Can you give me a cheer if you've had a colonoscopy? Yeah. Oh, you liars. Liars, the lot of you. Never mind, there's something to look forward to. So I'm there on my left-hand side. Oh, I forgot, did I tell you that? I've blinked now, hang on a minute. And he told me all the ways I can die and all the things that can go wrong. And then he said, I'm missing the punchline, you may experience sexual arousal. So I'm there on my left-hand side. He's got the camera up my bum and he's having a right good look. Do you know when the phone rings, we always answer it? I'll not. No. This is very conditional. Don't take your tablets, don't be popping your clogs here, love. Alright. You dropped it. It's alright now. So, I'm on my left-hand side, he's got the camera up my bum and he's having a right good look. And then he leans over and he says to me, are you alright? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. And then I said, I'm not sexually aroused yet. He said, don't worry about it, dear, I am. But I've got 2 girls, and when they were teenagers, they were awful, they were feral. I mean, they made me ill. They made me ill, all that smoking and drinking, all night partying. And that was just me to get through their teenage years. Awful. But now they've got kids of their own, so it's called payback, isn't it? So I called in at my daughter's on the way in, and she was screaming and shouting at her oldest to clean the bedroom. So granddaughter runs past, up the stairs. She's back down in 5 minutes. Thought she's not done that room. So I went up to check. Go in the room, it looks all right. Then I see all the stuff under the bed. She'd shoved everything under the bed. I thought her mother's going to kill her. She's going to kill her. So I started pulling stuff out. There's a bottle of vodka. I mean, she's only 13. A bottle of vodka, I can't believe she's drinking. Pulling more and more stuff out. There's a packet of cigarettes. I can't believe it. I can't believe she's smoking. And then right at the back, at the top corner, I had to lie on the floor to get it. There's a packet of condoms. Oh my God, I thought, I can't believe it. She's got a penis. Don't have him laughing too much, then tablets will take 20 minutes. Right, okay. I used to be a nurse. Not a good one, like. Anyway. So where am I now? So we've done the penis, haven't we? I mean, my friend said to me, she said, don't it worry you that you'll walk in and nobody will laugh and no one will find you funny? And I said, no, not really, because I'm married. I do this, seriously, I do this because it makes me feel alive, it makes me feel relevant, and it makes me feel me. Yeah. I should just finish now, Anthony. It's not going to get any better than that. Thank you. Now, my husband has an issue with that statement. I think he's jealous. I said, go and find something that makes you feel that way. He said, I think I'll be a Morris dancer. I said, crack on with that then, love. So he goes down to Village Hall and he said all the Morris men were there, all drinking real ale. He said all the anoraks were hung up backside at the door. And they asked him loads of questions. They let him try the bells on, did some stamping. Even let him have the handkerchief. He said he had amazing wrist action. Then the big man said, just one final question. He said, are you circumcised? My husband said, well, yeah, actually, yeah, I am. And the man shut the book. He said, your application's not been successful. My husband says, but why? He said, you don't meet the criteria. Apparently, to be a Morris dancer, you've got to be a complete prick. Thank you. Just one thing before I go, I just want to tell you something really quick before I leave. I actually had a colonoscopy this morning. And I want you to know, and this is really important, I just want you to know that the prep is far worse than the procedure. It's important to know that prep is far worse than the procedure. But on the plus side, this is the first time I've done a comedy night, This is the first time I've done a comedy show and not been full of shit. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fantastic. Right, keep that applause.